Hello there, Scorpio. Welcome to your monthly forecast. It's really great to see everyone again. And before we get started with today's reading, I would like to address some of the comments about the format change that I did last month. First and foremost, I want to just let you know that I am going to revert to the previous format. I was reading through everything that you guys wrote, and you let me know loud and clear that you want to see the cards and that you also enjoyed the pacing of the traditional format, which usually ranges between 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how much there is to say. So this month, I am definitely going back to the old way, and I do appreciate you being patient though. I thought it would be good to mention that when I started, I just read a Celtic cross and it was like 7 minutes. So I really evolved the format quite a bit over the past 4 or 5 years, and you have to take risks, you have to try new things. So don't panic if I shift things up. I usually always bring it to a form that is its best sort of possible form, but I have to try new things from time to time. So all of that being said, we're going back to the old format. The cards will be shown throughout. And I was really happy, however, to see that you guys are enjoying my intuitive development series. That's something that I'm going to continue to put resources and time into. I have a crystals video that I want to do sometime next month, and also a Q&A, and then we'll go from there. We'll see what else is interesting to you guys. And based on all of the feedback I received about cards, I'm going to start to review decks. I have a lot of tarot card decks here, and many of the questions that I see each month are about, what deck should I start with? What are you using? And I'm going to try to highlight the best and some to avoid as well, because it doesn't matter how seasoned you are, these are good things to know. One last thing before I get started, I just wanted to say if you like the new additions to my monthly videos and you appreciate that I'm putting a little bit more energy into making these videos longer, then this is a great time to give back. I normally put this link and this bit of information at the end, but I know not everyone watches. So if you would like to give back, go right beneath the video and there is 3 links, one to schedule an appointment, one to donate, one to join me on social media. Feel free to do any or all of those 3 things because that really helps the health of this channel, but it's a volunteer sort of thing. The more you give to me, the more I can give back. So think about it. If it makes sense, do it. Otherwise, let's get into the fun stuff now, which is the forecast. Every month when I read for each sign, I select a deck of cards, and then I begin to meditate for that sign. For you, the message was really surrounding motivation. And back when I used to just write a word on an index card, that probably would have been the main word. But if I go a little bit deeper in that, it's really about finding ways to stay motivated. And for some of you, this could include having people in your life keep you accountable. Or if you prefer, it's about finding ways that really inspire you. This could be putting a picture up of a destination that you want to go to and saving the money to make that happen. Or it could also be about you supporting others in that same sort of way that you might need the support. But motivation is going to be important because there could be some difficulties this month in getting things started. So when you keep your eye on the horizon and understand the purpose and the reason that you're working so hard, everything starts to feel a lot better. So again, whether you're creating a deadline, creating some accountability, putting up a picture, or having someone in your life that you either motivate or they motivate you, or you kind of help each other on that, this is going to be essential and it's going to help you get to your goal a lot faster. Let's now take a look at the cards, which I know you can't wait to see, and we're going to tune into the energy of this month. At this point, I always like to remain quiet and just observe where the cards fall. So let's see what's coming through for you, Scorpio, and I'll regroup as soon as I've laid out the Celtic cross. In addition to everything that you see here, I like to pull an additional card that I call a catalyst, and this is a way to tune into the energy of the month to really allow you to maximize everything, to kick things into gear. A catalyst does just that. It can start the action. So your catalyst this month is a tiger card. It came through reverse, but let's turn it upright so you can see a picture of it. For me, the tiger card is a reminder to go after what you want without fear, and to do it in a way that is really not looking back, not second guessing yourself. working with your intuition, working with your instinct, because that's what these really big cats do. And so I want you to be able to approach things with that speed, that confidence, and that instinct that you're just going to be able to work it out. But this belief too that you can get what you want. So again, kind of tune into your inner hunter and work with that feeling that you can achieve anything that you want. Release the fear, because in this case, you're actually quite strong and capable of doing what you want. Let's now look at the cards. I'm going to pull the camera down for a quick moment just so you can see how everything is laid out, and then I'm going to go card by card. I'll highlight a couple of things here right off the bat. There's an interesting sort of interplay going between your thoughts and your actions this month. I want to see a little bit more of a connection between them, because some of you might be stuck in a process of doing things that you don't believe or not really feeling what's going on. You have the Ace of Wands in reverse and the Ace of Swords upright. So that's what I was drawn to immediately, was needing to bring a little bit more parity there. And then a Ten of Wands crossing that Ace of Wands, which is showing for many of you a period where you're now ready to move on to something new. It could mean a literal move for some of you. It could also mean a chance for promotion. But the Ten of Wands typically has to do with ending of a phase, beginning of something new, and a lightening of the load, because maybe you're doing too much and this is a chance for you to step away from that and to use your skills for something different, or moving less in the less in the weeds is what I see you doing, and more sort of cognitive. So let's look at these two cards once more. With the Ace of Wands in reverse right at the center. Thoughts. This is the first thing that I get. For some of you, the thought process is either clouded or you're doubting it a little bit. So I want you to work on overall clarity of what's important. And for some of you, you may not be able to express yourself clearly. So it's sort of like the thoughts are trapped. So I want you to find a way to get that out if you can. The other thing that I'm seeing with this is overall vitality is something to work on through potentially for some of you just exercise, or the other type, exorcise, getting stuff out. Like I said, finding a way to get some of the anxiety, the stress, the anger that might be built up out of your body. So there's something that needs to kind of happen with unlocking or unleashing or releasing the thoughts so that you can be more in a state of equilibrium. With the Ten of Wands, I want you to be careful on what you're doing with exercise and carrying objects this month. So for some of you, this could be a briefcase, a purse, or an attaché. Depending on how you're carrying that load, you could be creating some issues with your back. It's not the Ten of Swords, it's the Ten of Wands. That just means that you want to be careful. So we haven't seen something happen where there's an injury, but there's a potential for that. And also for some of you, balance may be an issue. So if you're walking late at night, or if you're multitasking and talking on your phone, just be careful that you don't twist your ankle or do something like that. This is a month to take care of yourself, be very attentive in physical activities, and I think that that's going to help avert any sort of potential dangers or issues. So I'm bringing that up because I got that image flashed through my head. When we're looking at contributing factors from the past month, I'm curious how some of you have been doing with your sleep patterns, if you're getting enough sleep or if you're feeling rested. So if you're not feeling rested, there's a host of things that could be kind of causing this. First of all, it's either too much or too little sleep. There might be some caffeine that you're kind of adding to the mix that's giving you a hard time to sort of relax and get the most out of it. So I want you to detox a little bit. Take out unnecessary alcohol, food, or toxins, and really try to regulate that sleep schedule. And if you are having some crazy dreams and you don't already have a dream journal, keep the journal and start to look at the signs and symbols and see if they actually have some interplay or some sort of clairvoyance in what's going on in your day-to-day life. You may find that the dreams are actually there to help nudge you, warn you, or inform you about things that are about to happen. So keeping that journal and learning your own symbols, just like these totems or like any of these cards, you're going to be able to start to become more intuitive about what's coming through. Dreams are a wonderfully powerful way to tap into intuition. Now, as I'm looking at what the first week is going to be like, for some of you, you're going to need to work through an issue that might have already been present from last month, or there could be a new issue that pops up with relationships. Whenever I see the Three of Swords, it typically has to do with some disappointment or a relationship, sort of like a breakup or an argument. Now, this one seems to be one that has a little bit of a component of distance to it. I actually like that, we see the Three of Swords as a cognitive thing rather than kind of stuck in your energy. So what might be important, and again, we have this Ace of Wands in reverse at the center with the Three of Swords here showing that cognitive stress that's going on, or the emotions kind of stuck up here. Talk to someone. It could be a friend, a professional. You could just write as well, poetry, anything that you want to kind of get this stuff out. But it's important to somehow release the pressure valve. I don't know if you've ever seen a pressure cooker and it has that thing that shakes at the top. On the side, there's a little valve in case there's too much pressure that's built up. You can relieve the pressure. And I think that's what I'm getting mentally for you is you need some sort of a release. So whether that's seeing a movie, playing a sport, talking to a friend, doing something artistic, all of these things will be a great way for you to not only decompress, but make sense of this. And the sooner you do that, I think the easier you're going to have getting a good night's sleep, feeling rested, and letting go of some of that. So those two things seem to be intertwined. So take care of yourself, be gentle. If neither of those are kind of coming through for you, I just want you to focus on overall stress and not necessarily jumping to the worst possible outcome. I was talking today about manifestation to one of my neighbors outside, and how interesting it is that if you believe something, sometimes it just happens. So I want you to believe in the positive and the possibilities this month rather than calling in events that will feed into negative thought patterns. Easier said than done, but give it a try this month. Err on the side of optimism and positivity and see if it doesn't shift things for you. So we have the Prince of Wands in the crowning position, which shows me that once you get over whatever that internal blockage is, some of you could just be like writer's block or a fear of sharing your thoughts with others, which is why I think talking is going to be good. All of a sudden, your ideas start to bloom and blossom and move forward. Great time to start new projects. It's a really good time to work in partnerships and see if other people can vibe off of your energy. So I actually see there being a creative opening around the middle of the month. In fact, we have Queen of Pentacles in the near future. This to me shows that anyone that is in your presence and working with you, say at work or at school, or just someone who is in your life, they're going to see you as a person of value, that they would be happy to have you on their team or working with them. So I want you to recognize that within yourself. It's really important to love, to respect, and to honor your own sort of gifts and realize that other people are also lucky to have you. Sometimes we too often think that we need someone else or something else in our life to complete us or to validate us. And I'm validating you right now and saying other people are also very lucky to have you. And once you see that and realize that you have something to offer, it puts you in a place of power and dynamics start to shift around you. So what I'm seeing here in your ego is an opportunity to really share your thoughts in the spoken or written or somehow kind of even demonstrative form. I want to see some action behind the ideas. Put your money where your mouth is. And that is going to be powerful for you this month. And this is why I think you have to focus on what we're looking at in the catalyst here, which is to go after what you want. Don't hesitate, because it's the hesitation that is sometimes making people even look at you and think, I want to support them, but I don't know. They don't seem to know what they want. Know what you want. People will get behind you this month, but you have to believe that inside. King of Swords. This is great. I mean, with the Queen of Pentacles and King of Swords energy here this month, you have the ability to really rally up the resources with the Queen of Pentacles, and with the King of Swords, you can be in a position of management, power, and execution this month, making things happen. And I love that all of your swords cards are in the upright position here where it matters. The only one that's reversed is the Deep Past, the Nine of Swords, which shows that it's more about fear. So conquer the fear, be strong, be motivated, be outspoken, and I think that you'll be able to shift the focus here. We're looking here now at your money, and it happens to be in the hope, fear, and the area of opportunity, really. So Seven of Pentacles. Let's look a little bit closer. The card was reversed. I really like this illustration because what I want you to do is make new limits and goals for yourself. This card in the reverse state is showing a lack of purpose or a lack of understanding, or even for some of you, what's the best word that I'm trying to say? When you're not actually being disciplined about what you're doing. So be disciplined and have some defined goals in mind so that you can either overcome some of your debt or some of the investments that you don't like, or to just improve and create more of a cushion for the future. I see this as a month of slow but steady improvement. So if you're doing good, you could do even better. If you haven't been doing very well, then this is a chance to get back on track. I hope that makes sense. I love the outcome card. We have the world, or in this case, the universe, think even bigger. And we also have a god here, or I think this is like Shiva, the destroyer, or a version of that, which is showing me that you can overcome anything in the past that has been sort of eluding you. A past habit. It's right on top of the finance card. We have Shiva in this universe card right on top of the Seven of Pentacles, which shows me that you have an ability this month to, like I said, turn things around financially. Really embrace that and trust yourself and just go after the changes that you're ready to make. And I see really good growth if you do that. Let's go ahead now and expand the forecast. We'll take a look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. We'll begin with your health card. Health includes mind, body, and spirit. The message for health this month is to rebuild. And the card is reversed. It makes perfect sense. I see this as a version of the Tower card. And with the reversal of this card, just like the reversal of the Tower, this is your chance to hit reset. That means instead of focusing on what hasn't worked, you focus on possibilities. And you do so from a place not of feeling guilty or feeling bad, but of self-love and self-appreciation, which is why we see this angelic being holding her hands towards her heart space. So I really want you to do this because you love yourself, not because you feel that somebody wants you to do it, or you feel bad, or you feel less than, or you're looking at pictures of other people. Whatever it is that's going on in your body or in your health, focus on doing what's best for you because it feels best for you, not because others want it. And also, for those of you that might just simply be in a state of recovery, perhaps you had an illness or an accident or something that you need to recover from, this is telling you to just take your time and rebuild slowly. Great time for you to engage with physical therapy or some sort of rehabilitation. This card is really supporting all of those things. Let's shift gears now and take a look at your wealth card. A reminder that wealth is not just money, but self-worth and your relationship to money. So let's see what the opportunities are in these areas this month. And for wealth, we have the Cave and another reversal this month. So in this particular case, it's good to have a reversal because it's showing now that you're ready for a moment of enlightenment or a moment of coming out or asking for help. Because to me, the Cave card is one of feeling like you're stuck, you're afraid, you're ashamed. And so what you want to overcome this month is any sort of feelings of needing to keep things to yourself. Be open, communicate, discuss things about your finances, about your money. And if there's anyone in your life that you see who is having a hard time, this card is also encouraging you to reach out to them. Transparency is going to be your friend this month. And the more you understand, particularly with what's possible and ways to improve the money, because that's what we saw here with the Seven of Pentacles. Think of it as a growth and recovery month. If you do that, you're going to be able to achieve this moment of strength and empowerment instead of feeling trapped or unsure. So discuss, be transparent, ask for advice, seek a mentor if you need to. All of these things are going to suit you. Now, as we look at love, a reminder that this can include all types of relationships, not just your romantic ones. It can also be intimate relationships with friends, family, and other loved ones in your life. So let's see what the message is for love. The card says, I find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. And what I'm really seeing there is, for some of you, you're going to have to sort of sit with it for about 1 month. We're looking at a lunar cycle here. So with some of the difficult relationships, for some of you, it could be getting over someone who has broken up with you, maybe even someone who's passed away or left you. This is a period of mourning and regrouping for you. Give it some time. For those of you that want to try to improve that same relationship, maybe it is someone who just walked away and you want a second chance, you need to let both sides sort of simmer off a little bit, or simmer down, I should say, and know that you're going to, within this pause, figure some things out. And know that everything that's going on is actually for your benefit. It's all going to work out in the end, but it's really uncomfortable in this moment. Give yourself time to think through it. Focus on all these other positive things that I'm seeing this month, particularly with your ability to improve your money situation, your ability to really get people behind you when it comes to work and projects. And as you redirect, I think that the relationship front is going to improve. Some space, some time, some thought is what's necessary this month. And if you happen to be single, this is also showing you right now that what might feel for some of you like if you're looking to partner up, you're going through your own growth process right now to make you a better future partner. If you're single and happy, then what I'm seeing here is it's just a month to focus on personal development. And particularly when it comes to work, you can do a lot there. So we can always take that passionate energy and redirect it into other parts of our life if we want to. Let's now take a look at your destiny card. For me, destiny, as it's sort of set up in this spread, is a chance to look at your trajectory. Are you happy with where you're going? If you are, great. If not, the message contained here can often help you redirect and sort of use your free will to affect your outcome. So we'll give the cards a shuffle and see what the message is about destiny. Return of Spirit, which for me is a wonderful card that is showing for you, we were just talking about passion. I want you to find your passion. For those of you that are lucky enough to actually be working that passion, you're in a really good place. And if you're not, if it's something that you just need to find in your life, it could be something that you keep to yourself. Again, maybe you're an artist and you really don't let people know. You have a very practical job by day, but you have this ability to play an instrument or do something creative with your art. If that's the case, then it's fine as long as you have something that is feeding your soul. And in my head, as I was looking at this, I was hearing music from the 80s, What a Feeling, which really sums this up. You have to take something that you're passionate about and execute it, bring it into being. So I just want you to have something that you care about. It can also be, you could be an activist, you could be into politics, you could be into art, your community, your family, if you want to create something new with them, just something that really matters outside of things like money, career, finance. Those things are okay, but they're actually not what feeds the heart and the soul. So take care of those two things this month, and I think that everything else will file in line nicely, but this is what's really, really important. And hopefully that makes sense for you. Let's go ahead now and review everything. We'll take a look from the channeled information right to the end, and then we'll wrap things up. It's interesting now, after having gone through the whole reading, when I go back to the channeled information, that motivation message that I had, really trying to stay on track, trying to see something in your sights that you care about, it fits nicely with what we were just talking about, this return to spirit or return of spirit. And the other thing that I just thought of when I looked at that destiny card was, for some of you, this could be an awakening, a creative awakening, a spiritual awakening, and this will happen when you go after whatever it is that you care most about. The catalyst, again, was to remove fear and to go forward with whatever it is in your life that you care about, with the speed, with the agility, and with the that intuition, that instinct that you would see in a tiger. They don't second guess themselves. They know what they want and they find it and they make it happen. So let's look at all of the cards here and review all of the messages quickly. We talked about needing to find some sort of a balance between what you're thinking and what you're doing. And I think that makes a lot more sense having talked about everything right now. Focusing on not overdoing things in your life, not taking on too many responsibilities, and also when it comes to physical exertion, making sure that you're taking care of your body, particularly your shoulders and your spine. I talked about sleep habits, making sure that you are letting go of some of the stress in your life. So whether that's through exercise, writing, talking to a counselor, something needs to happen to get rid of what seems like is some pent-up emotional energy or intellectual energy as well. There may be, for some of you, a need to just get through a difficult emotional situation or a disappointment or a breakup or a loss. I see you moving through that. That's the good news. It really seems to kind of clear itself by mid-month. And then you sort of hit your stride. We have Prince of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, and King of Swords. A lot of great energy surrounding movement, especially when it comes to money. Some of you may find a lot of people coming into your life. When I see that many court cards, that also indicates that a lot of new people may be coming in. So if you lost someone or if someone left, then I see new people coming in to support and bring new energy into your life. Ultimately, when it comes to money, I see a turnaround in the future. So focus on the growth instead of anything that might be perceived as, setback, failure, etc. Everything is here as a lesson to move you forward. As we look at the expanded forecast one more time, this is a month for you to rebuild when it comes to your health, and see it as that. See it as something that's foundational. And do it because you want to, because you're doing something for your own benefit, not because others are forcing you. Come out of the dark when it comes to whatever your finances are. Ask for help, seek new information. This can be a segue into a hermit card, which is research, but I don't want you to stay in this sort of hermit phase. That's why it's important to talk to people. And when we're looking at relationships, I should say, it's all about giving things time. I see a lunar month with this, and knowing that all that you're going through is actually for growth and development, even if it's tough to go through in the moment. And we talked at great length about finding something that feeds your heart, your soul, and your spirit, aka your passion. And once you find that in your life, nothing can hold you back. And it's a great feeling if you've ever had those moments of just feeling like all of the stars are aligning. So I really want that for you this month. Okay, I hope that you got everything that you needed. That brings this monthly reading to a close. Just a reminder, however, if life throws you a curveball and you want to talk about something that's going on, I'm happy to chat with you. Check out the first link below the video and you can look at rates and availability and schedule some time with me if you'd like. At the beginning, I talked about how great it is if you're able to give back, what I can do with that. So feel free to do that if it feels good. The second link is a way to donate. As little as $1 makes a big difference here. The third link is how to stay in touch with me. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, in addition to being here on YouTube. I also have a newsletter. So follow that link and you'll find ways to connect on all of those platforms. And I would love to have you there if that feels right to you. And finally, and most importantly, I like to end with a note of gratitude. The whole reason I'm showing up each month is I really hope to kind of make a difference on the planet. I hope to help shift consciousness and bring people into a place where they're not fearing things. You have tools. Maybe it's the cards, maybe it's your own intuition, but you're no longer feeling sort of lost. And I want you to let go really of fear this month. And your message more than any other sign this month is to be bold, to stand out, to go after what you want. And I think for some of you to do that without hesitation, to act quickly. When we think of a hunter like this, like the tiger, they're not going to waste time going after what they want because someone else may actually beat you to that punch. So you're very much on the line this month to get things going, not just with money, but with your life in general. So sometimes there's months where we can sit and relax and wait. Other months you need to be active. And I see a lot of signs here for action to happen. Okay? So I hope that helps you this month. Find the motivation, find the passion, and go for it. Okay? Take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for showing up. Wishing you much love and light. I'll see you again next month. Bye-bye.